36 hours after the disastrous Luka Doncic trade that sent him to the Los Angeles Lakers, where do we go from here? That's what we're talking about here on today's show. Welcome in to Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Jeffrey Cooperstein, and I'm still trying to process this one as well. I know you guys are. I'm still very sad and very depressed about this entire thing. Before we get started with today's show, I want to hear from you down in the comment section. What's your sadness level right now? Scale it from 0 to 100 down in the comments. Oh, yesterday I was probably at about a 200 on a scale of 0 to 100. I would say I'm back down to about a 98 right now. So still very, very sad and depressed and dejected about this trade. But let me know where you guys stand down in the comments. I still can't believe this thing happened. It is just an absolute whirlwind of the last couple of days that it's been. And Nico Harrison ruined the Mavericks franchise. Like, I still fully believe that this was a disastrous move that you can't recover from, that the ramifications will be seen for years and maybe even decades to come. This was a move that you simply just don't make. You never trade the franchise player unless he demands out and says he's not going to play another game for your team. Nico Harrison no longer thought Luka was the franchise player, and he went on a power trip and traded the second best player in the NBA to the NBA's flagship franchise in the Los Angeles Lakers, giving them another franchise star. They went from Kobe to LeBron, and now it's going to be Luka heading up the Los Angeles Lakers over there at the Crypto.com arena. And I'm still sick to my stomach about this thing. It feels like the only person that wanted to make this move was Nico Harrison. Luka didn't want to be traded. The fans obviously didn't want Luka traded. The Dumonts, they know nothing about basketball, so they just trusted Nico to make the right decision. And that was a brain-dead move by them as well. Nobody wanted this. Jason Kidd didn't want it either, by the way. I don't know if you saw his body language in the press conference that Nico Harrison put together, but he clearly didn't want this move and was blindsided by it. Nico ruined this entire franchise. He sent millions of Mavericks fans, and I do mean millions of Mavericks fans packing, who are no longer going to be following this team. He sent lifelong fans like myself questioning their fandom of the Mavericks right now. He ruined an entire franchise. There is no recovering from this with Nico Harrison. I don't even think if the Mavericks won, and we'll get into this later, if the Mavericks won the title with Anthony Davis, I don't think people would forgive Nico Harrison for what he did. Luka meant so much more to the Mavericks than winning titles did. He meant so much more to the Dallas community than the Mavericks winning titles did. And you always say that no one is bigger than the team. Luka Doncic was bigger than the Dallas Mavericks. There is no getting around that. He was a global superstar that brought millions of eyes to the Dallas community, and Nico Harrison completely ruined that. Winning a title with Anthony Davis, and we'll get into AD here in just a moment, it means if Anthony Davis wins a title, I still think that would mean less than Luka spending his entire career here and winning none. And I feel bad for Anthony Davis because it's not his fault. It's not his fault that Nico Harrison went on a power trip and had a complete brain fart and traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers. He will never be fully embraced as a Dallas Maverick. And I do feel bad for Anthony Davis on that front because he didn't ask for this. Although once he heard the move was going down, he did waive his trade kicker to help facilitate the move. But AD will never be looked at how Luka was looked at in this Mavericks organization. And that's a shame because Anthony Davis, really damn good player. Look at the numbers over the last few seasons. 26 and 12 this year. 2 blocks a game each over the last 4 years. You can argue that he's the best defensive big alongside Bam Adebayo in the NBA. But no one will really care because they traded away the Mavericks franchise. They traded away Dallas's own. Luka was Dallas's own. He made North Texas his home after moving from Slovenia and Madrid when he was drafted. And there were reports out there today from Chandler Parsons that Luka purchased a house just a couple of weeks ago, a big house and purchased. And then the Mavericks end up trading him. He thought he was staying here for his career. He said as much in his statement that he posted on social media that he wanted to be here his entire career and wanted to deliver the Mavericks a championship. And he didn't get the chance to do that, and that's a damn shame. Anthony Davis is a very good basketball player. When he's healthy, he's comfortably top 10. He might even be top 5 when he's healthy. It just doesn't matter because everyone wanted it to be Luka. They wanted Luka to spend his entire career here. And while Anthony Davis may be a very good basketball player, he cannot replace what Luka did for the city. He cannot replace what Luka did for the community. He cannot replace the feeling that Luka gave Mavs fans on any given night, where you never know what was going to happen. But one thing you did know is you were going to see some form of greatness, whether it was a crazy behind the back no look pass, whether it was a step back game winner, whether it was Luka talking shit to another team or a fan. AD will not be able to replace that. The aura that Luka Doncic had. We'll get to the rest of the show here in just a few moments, but I do need to tell you guys about our sponsor, which is PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. PrizePicks has over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, making daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. The big game is almost here, and it is now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with PrizePicks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. PrizePicks is giving away a free pick for the big game where Patrick Mahomes will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more projection, you can win some real cash. And also be sure to check out the promos tab to tail any of our Super Sweat Millie winners big game lineups. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win a split of up to $1 million in promo funds. And PrizePicks is also the best place to get action on more than 30 states, including California, Georgia, Florida, and, of course, Texas. How do you play? It's super easy. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive that bonus. It is guaranteed. Again, download the app today. Use code CLNS on your screen right now to get a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. It is PrizePicks. Run your game. So where do we go next from here? The trade is done. Luka is not a Maverick. I know the reality there is starting to set in, but he is not a Maverick. And now we have to just see where this thing goes from here. We'll start with Kyrie Irving, who Tim Cato of The Athletic, or he's not of The Athletic anymore, but he's a longtime Mavericks reporter. He reported that as of right now, and this could change, but as of right now, Kyrie is still heading towards a multi-year deal this summer with the Mavs, and other NBA and Mavericks insiders have reported the same thing. So as we sit here, it seems like Kyrie is still invested in this franchise and is still looking to be here for at least the next couple of seasons. Again, things can quickly change, but that's where we sit at the moment. If I'm Kyrie, though, I'm pissed off, and he kind of looked it in the post-game press conference. They traded, as Kyrie calls him, his hermano, his brother. They traded the guy that Kyrie was supposed to be a running mate for to go on multiple contending runs here with the Mavericks. And he was blindsided. He didn't know about it. If I'm Kyrie, I'm opting out and I'm testing the free agent market. And that's just how I feel about it. If Kyrie found a better deal in free agency, who could blame him for wanting to leave? I certainly couldn't. Same goes for Klay Thompson, who signed a 3-year, $50 million deal with the Mavericks in free agency. This isn't what he signed up for. He signed with the Mavs to play next to Luka because he thought Luka could help him get back to 90% of what he was in Golden State. And Klay has really started to put it together over the last few games, and it has been without Luka, so that's a good sign. But this certainly isn't what he signed up for. I believe they played like 22 games together. This partnership, not getting to see that to fruition, is an absolute shame. And I wish we would have gotten much more out of a Luka, Klay, Kyrie trio than we did. It's extremely unfortunate. And here's what the rotation is going to look like when everybody is healthy. You'll have Kyrie at the 1, Klay Thompson at the 2, PJ at the 3, AD at the 4, and Gafford at the 5. Obviously, Gafford and Lively are interchangeable there, but right now, Gafford's playing some really good ball, so I have him slotted in there at the starting 5, and obviously Lively has that broken foot, so he's out for the foreseeable future. Your bench, Jaden Hardy, Dante Exum, Spencer Dinwiddie, Quentin Grimes, the newly acquired Max Christie, Najee Marshall, Omax Prosper, Derek Lively, and Dwight Powell. So the Mavericks do have an open roster spot at the moment, and the crazy thing is this. The Mavs may still be in contention in the West this year. I just couldn't care less about the outcome of this season. Like I said, they could win the championship, and it still wouldn't take the sting away from trading Luka Doncic. My care level for this team has gone out the door completely. The wins and losses really don't matter to me. Nico Harrison made that much of a devastating move to this franchise that I'm not sure anybody cares about the Mavericks for at least the rest of this season, and maybe even beyond that. It was that big and that bad and that evil of a move that Nico Harrison made for this Mavericks team. Before we get on out of here, let me know what you guys think. Do you care about the rest of the season? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I really don't. My care level went out the door when they made that move. Luka wanted to be here. Everyone wanted Luka here, except for one guy. And that one guy shipped him off to his buddy Rob Pelinka and the Los Angeles Lakers. It's an absolute shame. Do you care about the rest of the season? Let me know down in the comment section, and be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. We'll be covering all of the latest Mavericks news and rumors heading up to the 2025 trade deadline on Thursday, so stay tuned, lock us in, and we'll see you soon.